Higher Learning is a show about adults learning interesting facts while under the influence of marijuana. This show is filmed in Vermont where it is legal to smoke. The staff involved in the show want to be clear that we do not support its use by those too young or where it is illegal to partake in such behavior. While this show doesn't show the usage of drugs or use coarse language, it is not intended for children. Parental discretion is advised. Now, let's get to the burning and learning. Welcome to Higher Learning, a class in disjointed education. This week is quiz week. For those who don't know, this is the show where my son comes in high on an edible 1 week while I teach him 25 facts, and then I come back the next week when he's sober. This is sober week, and I quiz him on those facts just to see how much he remembers from what I taught him. And what we like to say is, will he puff, puff, pass, or
puff, puff, fail?
And this week is the quiz on the topic of 25 dark facts about Nickelodeon. He wore the shirt again because he wore it last week for this specifically. All right, let's see what happens. Who tried to sue Roger Price, the creator of You Can't Do That on Television, for stealing the idea of green slime?
Oh, I don't remember. There's not options?
No.
Yeah, I've got no idea.
The makers of the movie Ghostbusters. And then he had to...
Stupid.
Yes. So, he won because he showed them, he's like, well, my show's been doing it since 1979. Your movie came out in 84. I certainly didn't steal it and then go back in time. Who was fired during season 2 of Ren and Stimpy for creative differences?
John Kricfalusi?
Correct.
All right.
Why did Rugrats cut down appearances of Boris and Minka, Dee Dee Pickles' immigrant parents?
It was some racist thing.
Right.
Like, it didn't appeal to the audience because they weren't white or something? I don't remember.
No.
Okay, then I don't remember.
They were accused of being anti-Semitic caricatures of Jews, even though the people who created it based it on immigrants they knew, and they were Jewish themselves, I believe. So it wasn't. It was just like, here's people based on who we actually know. And they were like, that's racist. Wrong. It's like, okay. So yeah, they were called anti-Semitic. So that's X. Let's see. What did Rugrats co-creator Gabor Csupo and Arlene Klasky do while working together on the show? There's options.
I'll need them then.
Did they get married? Did they get divorced? Or did they have a baby?
Divorced.
They did get divorced. Stayed working together, though. Nickelodeon toy Gak, that slime, was named after what illegal drug?
Heroin.
Correct. It was slang for heroin. Something that the people higher up at Nickelodeon were doing a lot in the 80s.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Doug creator Jim Jenkins said he created the rainbow-colored characters of his show for what reason?
Inclusive. What I don't know how to say the word, but like to be
Inclusivity
inclusive.
is good. Yeah, that works. He wanted to break through Nickelodeon's color barrier because before that, everybody was white because that's where the money was. That was their stance.
And now we've got blue and yellow and red and purple. Why did Nickelodeon rerun all of their shows so much in the 80s and 90s? They still do, but at the time it was like way more. There are options. Okay.
They didn't have a lot of money to spend on new content. They figured kids wouldn't realize they've seen those episodes before because they're kind of dumb, or they didn't have to pay royalties to any of the stars.
That one.
Correct. Double Dare would not mic contestants on the obstacle course of the game. Why?
Because they swore a lot.
They did swear a lot. That is correct.
Viacom got sued for breaking what promise that Nickelodeon made when it launched online games for children? What did they promise?
Oh, that they wouldn't have ads? Or they wouldn't be advertising to kids?
No.
No?
That they wouldn't have cookies tracking kids' stuff.
I mean, the whole point of cookies is for ads.
Yes, but they weren't even supposed to be keeping any of the information. So wrong. What is Crybaby Lane?
I have no idea. I don't know.
It's the name of a Nickelodeon made-for-TV horror movie that got shelved after one airing. It was hosted by Melissa Joan Hart, and then they were like, "Yeah, oops, we probably shouldn't have done a horror movie."
That didn't make me think of horror movie, so bad name.
No. On Rocko's Modern Life, which of these adult jobs did Rocko get at one point? Was he an adult phone line operator, an exotic dancer, or a gigolo?
That's the first one.
Yes. A visitor to Nickelodeon's animation studios found drawings of what hanging in the bathroom stalls?
The animated characters in sexual positions or something.
Sexy outfits and stuff. Yeah. Dirty versions of Nickelodeon characters.
Yes.
In the ladies' room, by the way.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Ladies' rooms are usually dirtier than men's rooms.
Angelique Bates, an original cast member of the show All That, claims producers convinced her to do what? Was it pose naked, lie to Child Protective Services, or hide that she was in a lesbian relationship?
Lie to the whatever services.
Correct. Because her mom was literally physically abusing her on the set, and then Child Protective Services got called, and the producers are like, "Shh, it'll look bad for us that it happened here, so don't say anything." Rick Medina of Power Rangers murdered his roommate with
a
what?
Sword.
It was a sword. Correct. iCarly and Sam & Cat star Jeanette McCurdy has had a few issues.
What?
Which one of these things is not true? There were leaked sexy photos of her online.
Okay.
She wrote a book with a shocking title, or she got married and an annulment in less than 48 hours. One of those is
it has
fake.
to be that last one.
Correct. What producer of many popular kids shows on Nickelodeon, including All That and Kid Danger, was accused of inappropriate relationships with underage girls from his shows?
Dan Schneider?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. A woman sued after getting hit with a pie on Double Dare. What did she claim was the damage? There's options.
I'll need that.
She could not have sex, she lost an eye, or she's afraid of pie.
She couldn't have sex?
Correct. They paid her $25,000 to go away, but she claimed getting hit in the face with a pie on TV made it so she couldn't have sex. She's doing it wrong, by the way. A pie in the face. Anyway. Zoey 101 star and Britney's little sister, Jamie Lynn Spears, was fired from the show at age 16. For what infraction?
Being pregnant?
Correct. In October of 2005, a man named Scott Edgar Dulesky was arrested and charged with killing his neighbor Pamela Vitale. What Nickelodeon show did he blame for giving him the idea?
Say that all one more time.
A man in 2005, I'm not going to get into the names, it doesn't matter, was arrested and charged with killing his neighbor. What show on Nickelodeon did he say gave him the idea?
Invader Zim?
Yes.
What?
Yes. So
that was the closest thing to there being killing on a kid's show in that
He was
channel.
harvesting organs in an episode, and the guy claimed that's what he was doing too when he killed her. he was inspired to try to gain human organs.
Public service announcement. Don't harvest people's organs.
Unless you're a doctor and they've given permission. Then
The general consensus, just don't harvest people's organs.
There are very
There
specific
are very
circumstances.
specific signed papers.
You Can't Do That on Television was known for gross out and dark humor. But one sketch only played once in the U.S. What was the joke? If you need it, I've got it.
I do.
A man returning an adopted child.
That's amazing.
A woman didn't want a baby, so threw herself downstairs.
That's not as amazing.
Or a teenager is caught looking into the ladies' room.
Oh. What was the first one again?
It was a man returning an adopted kid.
That one.
That is the one.
All right.
All right. Nickelodeon went off the air for 8 minutes and 46 seconds a few years ago. Why?
That was the amount of time that Derek Chauvin was on George Floyd's neck.
Absolutely true. An episode of Angry Beavers called Alley Oops, there was a scene where Daggett tells Norbert that he stinks. And Norbert fires back with, "Oh, shut up, Dag." After airing once and receiving complaints from parents, how did Nickelodeon censor it?
Instead of shut up?
Mm-hmm.
Like, zip it?
No, they bleeped out the word shut.
Oh, no.
So you get a little bit of the sh and the t, and you hear a beep in the middle. It suddenly sounded worse. They had to re-censor it.
Okay, hold up. But, like,
Yeah.
what does that mean? To poop up? Like, what would that...
It doesn't matter. The fact is, people heard sh bleep, t, and they were like, "Excuse me, sh bleeped." The designer of the Nickelodeon logo said he intentionally chose bright orange and green because they are what? What about those colors?
Like, they induce, like, wanting to watch or something? Like, they keep
No.
the people interested?
They cause distress.
Distress.
Distress. They're the
So what, if
international
you turn it
distress
off,
colors.
it'll be like, now I'm stressed because I'm not watching Nickelodeon?
Let's see. Back in the old days of You Can't Do That on Television, who was prohibited from being allowed on the set?
Parents.
Parents, correct. And the last one, John Kricfalusi, creator of Ren and Stimpy, has been accused of grooming underage girls. What lame-ass excuse did he give for that? Because there is no good excuse for grooming children.
No.
No matter what he said, it was lame. What did he say his reason was?
Her clothes? I don't know.
He had mental illness issues and addiction. It's like, I know
obviously
many
wasn't
addicts
mentally
that
all
would
there.
never groom a child. I know a lot of people that are loonier than tunes.
Okay, but you have to have something wrong in your brain.
You do. All right, let's see. Let's total up the score. We got... You have got 72. You passed. For the third time since the beginning of the show, Jason has puff passed.
In your face, Dan.
Dan?
Yeah.
Dan?
Dan
Dan who?
Schneider.
No, with him it would be on your feet.
All over your disgusting hairy toes, Dan.
Anyway, that'll be it for this week.
A third in Puff history.
Yes. Next week we'll come back. He'll be high, and we'll teach him I'll teach him 25 facts on another topic, and we'll see if yet again he can puff pass, or he'll
Puff fail. Can I puff fast?